Well, hello, what's up everybody? Today we're going to be talking about ADHD and electrolytes and why it's so important to get electrolytes. I have too many patients that don't get enough electrolytes in their system, so let's talk about that right after this intro. Welcome back, my Optimal Mind leaders and my Optimal Mind performers. If you are new here and have downloaded my free guide, why haven't you? It goes over all the nutrient supplements and also labs that you should run if you have ADHD. It's in the description below, but let's go ahead and get started about ADHD and electrolytes. I'm Dr. LeGrand, and I actually grew up with ADHD and dyslexia, and why I think electrolytes are so crucial when it comes to ADHD, but not just people with ADHD. A lot of people do not get enough electrolytes in their system and deal with fatigue, brain fog, hyperactivity, impulsivity, and also people who have ADHD tend to have different tics, what we call it, uncontrollable muscle control, which can be an issue for people with ADHD, which can be very common and associated with that. So first off, the very first thing is that the body relies off of electrolytes significantly. Throughout our whole body, we have different channels, and as far as, to communicate, especially through our nervous system, our muscles that rely off of sodium, potassium, as well as magnesium, different types of electrolytes that are important for our body to actually even function. It's like basically fuel. And if you're not getting enough into your diet, because if you're eating a very junky diet, chances are you're not getting as much electrolytes as you should. You're probably getting enough sodium, but things like potassium, magnesium, manganese, other kind of different electrolytes, probably not so much. Even B vitamins, those are vitamins. That's a different topic for a different day. I've actually already talked about that. But as far as just looking at electrolytes for the body, it's so important. So why is it important for people with ADHD? Well, there's a lot of research out there that's shown that a lot of people, especially kids who have ADHD, tend to actually have lower levels of electrolytes than any other kind of kids. A lot of times there's deficiencies going on, especially magnesium. People tend to have a deficiency more so in magnesium than versus people who do not have ADHD. The second thing is that the brain really relies off of electrolytes to be able to make neurotransmitters and to process neurotransmitters. Now, neurotransmitters, I've talked this about a lot, is basically the really importance for ADHD because of the dopamine, serotonin, all norepinephrine, all these different types of neurotransmitters that are so crucial when it comes to ADHD health. That's why when you take a medication, what it's doing is blocking the reuptake of actually neurotransmitters, so it actually will produce more dopamine, so you can actually feel more focused, feel more happy. That's what a lot of these mental health medications do. But what happens is once you take that away, guess what? The body's gotten lazy producing it, so that's why you have these withdrawal effects, as well as having a hard time really relying off of it. That's kind of the caveat when you're taking medications and actually you're trying to stop it completely. But when it comes to electrolytes, if you could start incorporating more electrolytes, that can really help with the process of neurotransmitters and therefore help with focus if there's a deficiency. So you always got to make sure there's a deficiency. If you have no deficiency, guess what? You're probably not going to have much of a big change as far as when you incorporate electrolytes. But if you do, sometimes it can be almost a night and day kind of circumstance for yourself if you are really deficient. The third thing is also that the adrenals, which rely heavily off of electrolytes, and the adrenals produce our stress hormones, epinephrine, norepinephrine, as well as produce cortisol, which has to do with our energy. And why this has to be related to ADHD? Well, a lot of times I see within my patients that they might have adrenal insufficiencies going on, and that could be related to not getting enough electrolytes, which the adrenals rely off of electrolytes. So if you're having a hard time paying attention, for example, focusing, or also just really having the impulsivity and hyperactivity and just behavior going all over the place, it could be related to more hormones. Now, adrenals and endocrine system, that also relates to a lot of hormones that we have to deal with. Same with our reproductive organs, as well as our pancreas, as well as our thyroid. Those are all endocrine systems that have to deal with hormones, which can be really connected to people who have ADHD issues. Now, electrolytes, why they're so important, because sometimes there could be a deficiency, and once you incorporate that, that can help one of those vital organs, such as adrenals, to be able to really have more focus, to be able to help with as well as attention, and also with hyperactivity and impulsivity. So I hope you realize the importance of electrolytes for ADHD. If you feel like you are deficient, check with your doctor, run some tests to be able to see if you are deficient, and then start incorporating it. But if you are trying to find what you need to implement and what labs you need to run, then go ahead and download my free guide. Like I said, it's my ADHD free guide that goes over the labs you should be running if you have ADHD, as well as nutrient supplements to incorporate. And until next time, this is Dr. Grant signing out. And remember, you have an optimal mind. Thanks. Bye.